All right, we're going to start the Community Action Board's executive board meeting at 12:06 p.m.
Thing on this one, intermittent.
Okay, give me just one quick second. I apologize. Agenda here. All right. All right, so like I said, instead of introductions, I'm going to do a roll call off of the calendar alert of who should be in this meeting. I've got Maria Gillis. Maria Gillis.
I am here.
Okay, I hear you.
Did we lose you, Jen?
Again?
Are you there?
Yeah, I got knocked off. I apologize. I don't know what happened. A glitch in the Wi-Fi or something. I apologize. So we got Maria Gillis, Sharon Gordon.
I am here.
Janine Hargret. Janine Hargret. And one final call for Janine Hargret. Next, we have Joey Henderson. Joey Henderson. One more call for Joey Henderson. Marcia Sedano.
Present.
Thank you, ma'am. Kelly Mastrada.
I'm here.
Noreen Copeland Miller.
Good afternoon. I'm here. Present.
Ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here. I'm here.
Afternoon. Samuel Wright. Samuel Wright.
Dr. Wright, he will not be attending today. He has a conflicting meeting.
All right, thank you very much. William Thomas. William Thomas. And one more call for Mr. William Thomas. On here, I have a Zach Mills.
Miss Anderson, Zach Mills is just for the court reporter, which is for Heidi. He just so he can forward
Okay,
the meeting to Heidi to take the minutes.
All right, fine, okay. I didn't know who that person was. I thought someone had something for us today. So thank you very much.
Good afternoon, board members. I'm here.
Okay, and that would be it. So we have one 2, 3. We have 3 of us out of. Okay, so we have enough for. Okay, we're good there. All right, so the first thing on the agenda for today is. I did the introductions, the invocation. Madam Vice Chair, can I ask you to do the invocation for us, please, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, just one moment. I'm gonna
All right.
ask if everybody would bow their heads, and I'm going to start off with scripture from Romans. What then? Are we better than they? No, in no wise. But we have before proved both Jews and Gentiles that they are all under sin, as it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. Dear Heavenly Father, we come today asking you to bless this meeting to be all that you would have it to be, that we will be of servants, knowing that not one of us are exempt from being in the low income bracket at any given moment. God, it's because of your grace and your mercy we're able to be a servant. And that's what we are, servants. And Lord, we come asking you to lead and guide our chair, that she would direct us in the direction you would have her to go. Lord, and that the board members that are here will make the right decisions for the low income residents in Hillsborough County. Lord, that they will be self-sufficient. We just thank you for this meeting. We pray that you will be in the midst of it, that we will make the right decisions for the public officials, the community, the low-income people. Just do what is right. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. I thank you for this opportunity. I ask you to continue to bless all of the board members and their families going through this COVID-19 virus. And for the many people that have lost their loved ones, I ask for a peace of mind, and just, Lord, we just ask you to continue to cover us in the blood and surround us with a hedge of protection. These are all blessings I ask in thy darling son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, ma'am. All righty, next we have our pledge. Ma'am?
No, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. And next we have the Pledge of Allegiance. I can get you all to stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And you know what? I'm going to let everybody off the hook today. I am going to read the mission statement, and that way we don't have to try to figure out who's going to do it. Community action board partners and stakeholders to stabilize and empower vulnerable individuals and families to achieve self-sufficiency through advocacy and essential services. And we can just go to our next, and that is the approval of the agenda. I'm assuming everyone got a copy of it and had a chance to look it over.
Madam Chair, this is Rosa Hill. Our motion that we approve the executive committee agenda dated Thursday, June 8, 2020, 12 p.m. virtual meeting.
I second that. Marcia Sedano.
So we have a first from Ms. Hill, Rosa Hill, and a second from Marcia Sedano. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? And the motion passes. I think I heard a gentleman's voice if I had somebody enter the room. I'll see here. My computer doesn't like to play nice with me sometimes. I had someone enter the room since we tried to. Okay, I'll take that as a no. Man. All right, now our crazy computer's gonna do something weird. Y'all give me just 1 second, I apologize. All right, there we go. All right. Okay, standing committee reports, the executive committee report. The only thing that I have to report really is what I reported on at the board meeting the other night, and that's what we had spoke about at the last meeting. And I know that some of those things still are yet to be resolved, and we need to be able to resolve them during this meeting. And those are things we'll be talking about later on down in even revisiting the election issue. I'm going to just bypass and just say I have nothing new to add and go on to Madam Vice Chair. If you have anything for the bylaws committee, Madam Vice Chair.
Okay, Madam Chair, I just want to say it's been a pleasure serving as the bylaws chair. This is my last year serving as the bylaws chair. It's certainly been a pleasure reviewing the bylaws, making sure that we are in compliance and aligned with the resolution as well. So I thank you for that honor. We have not met because there was no real action items in our meeting last week. I did put emphasis on the bylaw because I think it's important that all members read the bylaws and look at different sections because they're very helpful. I think that there's been a great job and effort have been put into the bylaws over the years, but there's always room for a revision. But I thank you for the opportunity, board, to having served for the bylaws chair for this year. That's all I have to say. Thank you, because I have no other than that.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice Chair. Next, we have the budget and finance, which is Joey. Has Joey come in since we started? Mr. Henderson, are you here?
I do not see
Okay.
her.
All right, then can I look to Ms. Mastrada? Does she have anything for us?
Hi, Jennifer, this is Kelly. The monthly report for the one that's due on June 21st has not been completed or submitted, so I have nothing to update at this time.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All righty, next is the planning and evaluation. Ms. Rosa Hill, do you have anything for us for the planning and evaluation committee?
No, ma'am, Madam Chair, Planning Evaluation Committee has not met, nor have I received any pending or potential requests for service. So there's nothing to report for the Planning Evaluation Committee.
All right, thank you very much. And then we have the Public Information Committee Chair, Marcia Sedano. Do you have anything for us, Ms. Sedano?
No, Madam Chair, I have nothing to report. I have not received any updates or anything for Public Information Committee or on any other information to the scholarships prior to what Ms. Gordon had mentioned last week at our CAB meeting.
Now, have those letters gone out to, and this is probably more Ms. Gordon question, so she can pipe in if she would. Have the letters gone out to the students that they have been accepted and that they have gotten the scholarships, yes or no, or?
Yes, Ms. Anderson, yes, the letters have gone out. And I received an update yesterday that one of the scholarship applicants withdrew. So we are at 54.
So one of the applicants withdrew.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now
Is there a way, I'm asking this for a reason, because we couldn't do the scholarship ceremony like we normally do, which I'm gonna be honest with you, but it's a real bummer for me because I was really looking forward. That's my favorite thing. To me, that's like Cat Christmas, you know. It's my favorite. Everybody has their thing they hold dear to them. You know what I'm saying with the cat board, and that's my. I love to see those kids in their faces when they receive those scholarships, and so what I'm asking is there a way to find out first who got scholarships in specific areas? Let's say like East Hillsborough County, Plant City, Brandon, Valrico, that area. Because number one, and number two, would it be prudent and would it be acceptable for our advisory councils to individually perhaps do something for these students that won these awards, since we can't have a program for them? Would it be acceptable for us to do something for either the advisory councils or even like me personally, do something for these children that have won these awards? Is that something that would be acceptable? Or
because this is a community action board scholarship program, and so these students are awarded scholarships through the community action board, I believe that would require for you to go before the board with that, and the board would have to decide on that, not in this particular platform.
that's why I'm asking.
Madam Chair.
That's why I'm asking.
Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes.
if you like, I can put in for a meeting with the Public Information Committee and
Okay.
bring forth what you asked and see if they have any if they'd like to share some ideas. If we have if the Public Information Committee meets prior to the next monthly CAF board meeting, and then we can decide then.
Okay.
I can I'm sorry.
Explore options, and then we have something to present the board. That's why I'm bringing it before this forum, so that we have time to get information before the next meeting. Madam Vice Chair, you were going to ask something? Sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to see how to raise my hand, but I'm not having any luck with that. But what I wanted to say, Madam Chair, is, and Ms. Gordon, you're certainly right about going before the board to see if that's something possible. In the past, and I'm not sure, they usually we allocate a certain amount of funds from the CAP board to make sure that those students have the supplies that they need and materials to get off to a good start. I'm not sure what those items are, since we did not get that information, but I'm hoping that we will get a list of the students from what schools, and that's been like in the program. I don't know if you all did a program or not. Hold on one second, I'm sorry. But what I would say, Madam Chair, is they do a program. So if there's a possibility of the board getting a program with each student listed in the program, as well as the list of supplies that the CAL board that the staff has purchased to give the students, or whatever that is. We have none of that information as board members to even say how many. Now, thank you, Ms. Gordon, for letting us know one backed out. So now it's at 54, but we don't even know who the 55 were. So I'm asking for the program that virtual program, however you all do it, to list all of the recipients as well as the items that were purchased or the amount allocated per student be provided to the board so that we're not in the dark and so that we know it. And Ms. Sedano, help me out with that, what I'm trying to say at this moment, please.
Madam
Yes,
Vice- Madam Vice Chair, if I may, this is Maria.
We can, Maria, Ms. Gillis, we can hardly hear you.
Can you hear me now?
A little better,
I'm sorry, I apologize.
much better.
What, we can get a list, Ms. Gordon and her staff can get a list of the students and the participating colleges that they have been enrolled at. The board did not vote on any supplies. That was not one of the line items. So there is no supplies that have been purchased for those students. We have just approved their either $2,500 or $5,000 scholarship. I hope this helps.
Oh, that's very helpful, Ms. Gillis, and thank you for that update because it will be helpful knowing the students plus the institutions that they are going to be attending and the amount, if the board, as you put, decide that you all are going to purchase additional supplies. I know in the past that has happened and it brought back to the board after it was done, but now since the board did not vote on it, then I understand that, but we need to know the student's name and the university, the institution they're going to, and we don't have any of that information. And I feel, like for lack of knowledge, I'm not really able to, and I don't know how the information chair feels. I'm going to pass that on, but that is what I would like for all board members to get, the names of the students and what institution they're going to, and if there's any additional dollars going to be spent to make sure they're successful.
And in addition to that, I would also, if you don't mind me piggybacking on you, Madam Vice Chair, I'd also like to know what school they came from as well, to be added to that. But my thing is can we, as communities, rally around these winners and do something? Because like the Plant City High School students from the three different high schools here, they couldn't have a graduation, so they had a parade. So they did something for them. And I would like to see if we can do something for them. So if Ms. Sedano would check it out and see what our options are, her and Ms. Gordon, I would appreciate that and see what we are allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do. So. I know Plant City, we only had 2 last year, so I mean, it's not like it's, we had a ton.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I'll yield to you, Ms. Sedano. Go ahead. I see you.
I was
Is that Mr.
Oh,
there's Mr. Henderson. We have him. All right, great.
Yes, I've been on for about 20 minutes, but just listening, and then, but my apologies for running late here. I had another preceding meeting.
You're good. You're good. I'm just trying to keep up with everybody.
Madam Chair, I was going to add, and Ms. Maria, I was going to mention that for the last few years, we hadn't had any additional dollars for supplies. So that is something that we can bring up to the Public Information Committee for next year. I will also try to bring up the options as to how we would recognize the applicants, the recipients for this year, and we're going to include the names of the schools, the scholarship recipients, what schools, and what else we can do as a board. If Sharon or Derek can help me out with that information, I can pass that along with the committee meeting, and again put that into the entire board for next month's meeting if possible.
All right.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
This is Rosa Hill. Before we get off this subject, what has been our practice as a board if a student comes back and said they did everything they were supposed to do, they turned in all of their information, they did not receive a letter requesting more information, but they did not get the scholarship?
Ms. Hill, this is Maria. I can answer that question. If the customer is claiming that they applied for the CSBG scholarship and did not receive it for any reason, we do have an appeals process that they can follow.
Okay, and I send that information to Sharon?
The customer would need to request an appeal.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
and I'm sorry, Ms. Hill, are you?
Yes, I'm done. The request for appeal goes directly to where, Maria? The Neighborhood Service Center, where they file their paperwork?
It could be sent to Ms. Gordon. Ms. Gordon can facilitate it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Send it, through email.
Okay, great.
Madam Chair, so in response to Ms. O'Donnell, I was just going to piggyback on what she was saying and reiterate that exactly was the case for the past several years. We've not given purchased allocated money to purchase extras for the students. We were just giving them their scholarship and the assembly for the awards to be distributed. And this is a new paradigm for everybody, and so we're working our way through this. And I'm sure that we're going to recognize the students in terms of the respective councils and even individuals wanting to recognize or honor the students. I don't think that's necessarily a board issue, personally. Even if I want to come out of pocket, if I happen to know who from the South Shore area did get a scholarship, I may, as an individual, associate board member, or even council member, decide to send them a letter. It would be nice if it came from the council in a formal manner, but I don't think that that's going to require a deliberation among the board to make that happen.
Well, I just don't want to do something and somebody come back and say, "Oh, that's not proper. You shouldn't have done that way." Because there's about 1 million rules and they come into play when you least expect. When you think your common sense comes into play, it shouldn't have.
Madam Chair,
I want to make sure that I'm not doing something out of protocol. Yes, ma'am.
Madam Chair, if I may speak to that, and you're absolutely right, and I understand what you're saying, because this board is governed under Board of County Commission, the BOCC, so we have to be certain that we are in alignment with the county, and that's why it's important that we use our bylaws as well as that resolution, because it's great to want to do something for those students, but because of the COVID-19 virus and all the other things that is going on, we have to make sure that we're in line with Hillsborough County policy and procedures. I think there's a letter that they have in place already that they sent to the students. I don't know why the board members can't get a sample of that letter, a blank draft sample of the letter that they send out, awarding them, letting them know that, along with the virtual program or whatever, so we know what schools they went to. As you said, I agree. We know their name and we know the institution they're going to. But on top of that is congratulations, you are receiving. We don't have any of that information as board members. Even if we want to identify someone in our area or our community, we have a lack of information. So if the board can get that information, I think the councils will be fine with that. But again, we got to make sure that we're in line with Hillsborough County policy and procedures so that this board does not have repercussions if we've gone outside of the Sunshine Law or doing things that's not in order with Hillsborough County. Thank you.
Is there anybody else? Okay, so if we could just get that checked out and then either given a green light or a red light, I'd appreciate it, please.
And that was the list in case Ms. Gordon, Ms. Ziegler, and Ms. Gillis missed it. That was a list of different items that I was requesting as a board member, that all board members get. The draft or sample letter of congratulations, as well as what school the student went to, the student name, and the university that they will be attending. Let me add another item. What amount of dollars will they be getting, a 5,000 or 2,400 or what, the 2,500 scholarship? If we could get provided those 5 items, I think that would help all board members quite a bit be aware of what this project was really about, new and old members.
Madam Vice Chair, I had a question. I only counted 4 things: the letter, their name, the school, and the amount. What was the 5th thing?
The school that they're graduating from and the college that they're going to, right?
Right.
Right.
That's a great idea.
Agreed.
And then if we get the okay to do something special for them other than, hey, here's a letter, if we get the okay, then we'll know which of the children are in our communities. Like, South Shore, which kids, what's the school out there? East Bay. Which one's graduated from East Bay or Riverview, or, whatever the high schools are, they're covered out there. The 3 that are here, what I'm saying? It'll give us more of a idea. So in case we get the green light to do something, even if it's send them something personally or personal from, like I said, the advisory councils or even from the board. Whatever we decide to do, but just find out where and what we're allowed to do. I'd appreciate that very much.
Okay.
All righty. Was there anything else, Ms. Sedano? Do you have anything else for us?
No, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Next is the nomination and membership committee. Dr. Wright, you said that Dr. Wright will not be on today, correct?
That is correct. Item 8 highlights what the update would be. So
Do what now?
agenda highlights what the conversation, the update would be with nominations and membership committee. I had the opportunity to speak with Dr. Wright just to let him know where we're headed for this particular meeting. That's how we know he won't be able to attend today.
Okay. And that's later on, a little bit later on down in the agenda, correct? So we'll cover that when we get to it. If that's okay. But we'll if you have something for us, Ms. Gordon, we'll get to, when we get to H, which is the cab officer election. We have that later in the agenda. I'm trying to just stay with the agenda for time. Just keep us moving. F is the CSBG budget allocation update. Who's got that for us? Is that Ms. Estrada or?
Jennifer, this was not my item, so I don't have any update. I believe that was put on the agenda by Ms. Gordon.
Ms. Gordon, is that yours?
It's a standing agenda item. It's from the last meeting. So usually Ms. Mistretta does provide updates on that, but we do have the 4th modification to the grant and for this grant fiscal year. And correct me, Kelly, because you're the full numbers. We have $1,845,308. And as Kelly mentioned, our monthly report is not due until, I believe, we should say June 22nd. So at the next board meeting, I'm sure you'll have the update on how we're performing financially with the grant. Does anyone have any questions, or Kelly, do you have anything to add?
The reports are due on the 21st of the month.
This is Ms. Hill. I'm sorry. I'm not budget and finance anymore. That is Mr. Henderson's area for right now. But I do, and correct me if I'm wrong, Maria, Audrey, we normally get this update from Kelly. So, and Sharon is correct. It is a standing, because when I was budget and finance, I normally I could refer over to Kelly to get this information. So has something changed or what?
This is Rose. I think that this is Maria. No, I think what Kelly is saying is that, and I believe it. She mentioned this when we were going over the committee updates. She stated that we didn't have a report. We don't have a formal report because it has not been completed yet. So basically, it's the same information.
Yeah,
Oh, it's the same information regarding the June report. Okay, got it.
that I believe we got in the packet 2 weeks ago, or just about 2 weeks ago.
And Madam Chair, if I may say, Madam Chair, this is Noreen. May I speak?
Yes, ma'am.
And I do want to say, and it's always, and I know it's helpful for me, and usually Kelly does provide us with a copy of the updated report, whether it's anything has changed or not. So that way we have a line item to make sure that we know that nothing has changed or something has. Sometimes it may be one item that they spend money out of, maybe not. But normally, and I may, from my recollection, because I look at the financial report when I'm having the meeting, so I make sure that I'm well informed. And so that report that Kelly usually gives us line by line is usually helpful. And we've gotten that before in the executive committee meeting, just so that we are up to date when we do have our next board meeting, whether things have changed or not. That's just my experience.
This is Kelly. Nothing has changed. Normally I jump in when Rosa was the Budget and Finance Committee, and also since Joey's become it. Normally I jump in during his committee report. It's not a separate line item for a budget update. And that is when I would normally give my update. When the CAB meetings, when it was discussed to change the CAB meeting to a different day of the month, I remember, and I don't know if you remember, I brought it up that there was going to be times that the CAB or the CSBG monthly report is not due until the 21st.
Right.
So I try very hard to get it done early. I was out of the office last week off and on for a medical condition, and it's not due yet, and that's why it has not been done. So nothing has changed. I'm still more than happy to provide any updates, but normally it's as part of, it would be part of, if Joey stays the Budget and Finance Chair, it would be during his report that he would look to me for guidance. When I saw the agenda, I thought that this was a separate item, totally unrelated to my monthly report.
I did too. I thought it was something separate than just the regular budget and finance report.
Are we, this is Rose again, are we taking it off the agenda so there won't be any confusion going forward? And just,
I think that would be wise because I was expecting to receive something as well at this meeting regarding that. And no, I think it would be wise to just kind of keep it all in the same area with the budget and finance report.
Okay, so I think that I don't think I don't have one of my old ones with me there at my office, but I don't remember this being on here before. That's why I thought it was a new, like everybody else, thought it was something new. So let's just move on for interest of time. G, the CSBG CARES Act supplemental funding. And I'm sure that someone has a lot to share about that with us. Who is that going to be?
Okay, I guess the CSBG, okay, so there's additional funding that is from the CARES Act, and it's for CSBG. The Department of Economic Opportunity actually increased the poverty guideline index to 200%. So it's from what is 100. It was 125%, and now it's 200%. Currently, we're working through the administrative processes of it. We had a teleconference this morning with DEO regarding how to proceed with this grant. So eventually, we'll be scheduling a meeting with the board for a budget workshop, because now we have to determine how those funds will be expended according to their guidelines. So you'll receive more information on that, but just in FYI, we do have supplemental funding that's specific to the CARES Act for CSBG.
Do we know about how much that is yet, or no?
I don't, at this time, I do not know the amount. I don't think we received an amount allocation, or maybe an estimate. Maybe someone can speak to that administratively, but
This is, thank you, Sharon. This is Maria. We don't know exactly what the budget will be. What I do want to let the board know that these two line items or these two dollar amounts have to be tracked separately. They will not be an increase to our normal CSBG. It has to be counted totally separate, and it has to be tracked separately. So this is going to take some detail from the finance committee and from the board members to ensure that we're tracking everything separately, because it is two different pots of money.
Ms. Gillis, Ms. Gordon, if I may, Madam Chair.
Yes.
So does this also mean that these two pots of money are on different timetables in terms of when they need to be spent?
Bingo.
Okay.
We actually have more time with the CARES money. And I'm sure Ms. Gordon, when she has her workshops with the board and staff participates, we'll be able to come up with a time frame and some projections on how to expend.
And another question I have is, could you, just for the sake of records purposes, define what is 200%, 200% of the poverty guideline?
Currently, it's 125% of the household, 125% of the household income. They actually increased it to 200%. So it actually offers us the opportunity to serve a broader group of residents that are in need of services. So they are allowing that for the regular CSBG grant and the CSBG CARES grant. So it's no longer 125%, it's 200%.
And right now, we don't know what the actual dollar amount is for that additional funding?
No, from the meeting this morning, the allowable maximum benefit amount per household has increased to $3,000, but that's only for the CARES Act, not for the regular CSBG. So that's all that I know. I don't know how much we'll receive. That's all the information I have at this time, unless someone else could provide further information.
Thank you.
Does so the CARES Act, what type of things will that cover? Will that cover, give us more coverage for like helps with rents, lights, all the normal things that we help with, or that's going to be up to the board as to where the money is allocated, or are they going to tell us what it's allocated?
I believe they have some examples, like housing definitely is one. However, they also wanted to tailor it to the community that we serve. So we'll definitely have that information available to you at the board meeting, because it has to be COVID related. It has to be response, recovery. It has to be COVID related. So we have to make sure the expenditures of those funds are COVID related.
So, Madam Chair, this is Ms. Hill. I am familiar with the document that Ms. Sharon is referring to.
Yes, ma'am.
As far as the COVID relief dollars, because we did receive that document, or the Housing Authority, Tampa Housing Authority did receive some COVID relief dollars. And as a part of serving the broader community, we were asked, those of us who work in the social service arena or in housing within the Housing Authority, we were given the opportunity to give input on what our experience was, working remotely, what issues residents had, my staff, what issues were brought to their attention as far as how we could better serve the community in case something happens like this, what equipment we could put in place, so to speak, those kinds of things. So will the board get the opportunity to have input on how the dollars are used? Because I do know there's a form with questions that come out that needs to be answered.
Yeah, with that would be the with the budget workshops, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Jennifer, this is Kelly again. I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
wanted to let you know that the approximate amount of the CARES funding or the COVID funding that Hillsborough County will be receiving for CSBG is around $2.3 million.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. trying to pull back up my agenda. I went to a different page. I apologize. Bear with me. Doing everything from home is so.
Madam Chair.
So while Madam Chair is getting organized, Kelly, I'm sorry. $2.3 million, you know, when we put dollar amounts out there on the open call, of course, everybody heard it, even the ones that are not on this call. For some kind of way to hear these things. Is it $2.3 million for Hillsborough County or $2.3 million for CSBG?
I'm sorry, it's $2.3 million for CSBG.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And those funds will include, and that's an approximate. We're still waiting for the contract modification. It's my understanding that those funds will also include some admin dollars and possibly some operating.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Have we had anybody else enter the room? I thought I heard another voice.
Yes, William Thomas.
Hello, Mr. Thomas.
I had a user. What do you call it? A user at fault system issue.
That means you didn't know what you were doing.
Yeah, exactly. I try to make it technical.
that pilot error, I tell you, get you.
I'll need y'all dumbing this down. It was a technical issue, internal, whatever, however you want to call it. But I'm glad to be on board.
All right, glad to see you here. I just heard a male voice out of nowhere. It's like Horton Hears a Who, and I'm like, that's not Joey. All right. Well, you came on just in time for us to go to the cab officer election.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
before we go there, and I know this is not on the agenda, I don't know if it would be
Hold on
appropriate.
1 second, Joey. Hold on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was saying, I know that this is not on the agenda, but it does fit in within the confines of budgetary discussion with regards to the dollars that were awarded to or given to the advisory councils. I had sent a request to the staff, and I don't recall seeing a response with regards to the extension of time to be able to use it. But where do we stand with that?
Hello, Joey. This is
Yes.
Sharon. Yes, you did send an email. That would be up to the CAC for to provide an extension. I wasn't exactly the timeline, so I just wanted, maybe someone can chime in here.
Sharon, I'm gonna jump in. This is Maria. Joey, if you recall, maybe you were not at that meeting, at not the last board meeting, but the board meeting before that. Staff did state that we were extending the dates to ensure that the advisory councils would have sufficient time to implement and go through with their projects. So if you could get that project to us, there's no problem. The date can be extended.
Okay, and just so that you know, just to reiterate that I had informed the advisory council, and they know that I have stepped down, but I would be willing to help them work through that. They are in the process of reestablishing themselves and identifying officers, and they may elect to bypass the opportunity this go around. But I just wanted to let you all become aware of that. Thank you.
And actually, I just got a message from Derek in the last packet. There a timeline for the advisory projects was sent out, so you should have one in your last packet.
And actually, I did see that, and I saw that the timeline was extended. And again, I was asking for an additional extension if that's what they need.
I'm sure that we can accommodate the South Shore Advisory. Just work with staff, and as long as we have enough time for billing, I don't see that there would be a problem.
Thank you. I'll let them know. Thank you.
So I don't recall seeing a proposal from South Shore. I do recall seeing one from West Central. So can somebody give me a copy of it just to have in my file, please?
That is correct, Ms. Hill. There is no report
Okay.
from South Shore.
And mine hasn't come in as well because I was trying to get a hold of the lady that we do lots of summer reading program, and I want to make sure the program was going on before I send it in. It wasn't any sense in asking for money for a program that wasn't going to happen. So you'll be seeing that very soon, like in the next 30 days.
After South Shore had successfully implemented its project last year, we had a very detailed plan in terms of what were the next steps. As I had already informed them at that time, I would be stepping down. Of course, when COVID-19 hit, it kind of turned everything topsy-turvy. And in terms of communication, the organization had not been in communication with one another for the last 3 months or so until I said, you guys, we need to get together if you want to move this forward. So, so they are on the path of getting reestablished, and we may or may not see a proposal coming from them.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Chair, Noreen Copeland Miller, if I may speak.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I know we did submit our proposal. It was still in limbo because of the COVID-19 virus, and we were partnering with health services. And I know that all that was put on hold, but Ms. Gillis said that the board, the staff agreed to give us additional time to put that in. I guess I missed that part of it. What I know the last month we were looking at is December. So if there's going to be an extension, what timeline are we talking about, Ms. Gillis?
Well, we had December on there. We do have to close out the books by February, and we have to have time to submit all the purchase orders and everything. So it can't go much past January in order to ensure that we can pay. And I'm going to let Kelly chime in, but I think that January would be enough time for staff to be able to get the purchase orders and get everybody paid and closed out the CSBG grant.
Okay, so with that being said, so we still need to focus on getting it done by December and making sure everything's turned into you guys by January. Is that correct? From what I'm hearing.
That is correct.
Okay.
All right. Is there anyone else that has anything on this particular subject? Okay, so then we'll move on to the cab officer election. I'm going to speak on this real quick. That was a mess. I just don't even know how to even start with it. I don't even know where to go.
Well, Madam Chair, this is Ms. Noreen Copeland Miller.
Hold on one quick second, please. People talking over the top of people, people not listening, and I don't know. It just wasn't professional, and there was a lot of disrespect in some areas, and I don't know where we are with it. If all the ballots came back, but I think that one name was brought up, and it was just over. So I don't know where we're going to go with this, because that was a hot mess. Ms. Miller, if you'd like to say something now, that's fine.
Yes, Madam Chair, if it's okay. And I hear what you're saying, and it's unfortunate that it was a little bit of confusion. I think that's why it's important that all new members are provided training when they come on board. All new members are provided the bylaws when they come on board, as well as the resolution. And I will say, and it's in a binder with the name on it, but that information is given to us to read but it's also policy and procedure that we follow by the county, because there are repercussions when we go outside of that line if anything goes wrong, because this board has a duty to follow, be looking at funding as well as following the rules. It was nothing, unfortunately, there was a lot of, I don't want to say dysfunctional stuff going on, but unfortunately, I did read, I was not wanting to be unprofessional and put out some of the things that said, if you look again in your bylaws, and I will point you to Article 5. I also told everybody about Article 7, but if you look in Article 5, Section 9, about the nominating committee and the slate, and when and then we also talked about the petitions that were gathered in, but it's a nominating keyword committee that was supposed to review all of that. Being on that nominating committee, I was not afforded that privilege. I don't know about others, but I know I sent in my petition, as we call it, or whatever, because we've not received a ballot yet. At least I haven't received a ballot. And that one sheet of paper that we received, and I respect all board members, we got a lot of capable, brilliant, smart people on our people that are servants that want to serve, but we should have options. And that was a directive, in my opinion, that we received. One sheet of paper, and this is it. It did not matter who other names were submitted. That was not a slate. And if you look in Section 9, you will see where the nominating committee is supposed to submit a slate. So people have options. That did not happen. And that's my concern. And I have spoke to other people, county staff, I'll say that. I won't call name, but I have spoke about my concern about it. And I do not deem that as a democratic process. And I had some concerns. So in the executive committee meeting, I think that it is good that we are having this discussion, because this board has done, working with staff and others, have done a lot of great things for Hillsborough County for low-income residents to become self-sufficient. But when we perpetuate the behavior of individuals, that's not helping them grow. It's not empowering the board, and it is not good for us. And it was a person on the staff that I know the first time coming on, and I'm going to say this in an executive committee meeting without calling this individual's name. The first time we went to a training, a number of us, and this person wanted to order all of these items, which we said, no, you can't do that. Hillsborough County paid for our training, not for materials and supplies. Use your own credit card if that's something you want to do. Not one board member told her, 2, 3, about 4 people told her no. This individual still charged it to Hillsborough County, which went against the board. That was one infraction. Then another one was this one individual complained not working. We all working. When I came on the board, I was working. Fortunately, I've been able to retire, but I'm still working. But if I could not serve on the board, I would not. This one individual complained about that, no transportation. The staff went out of their way to get transportation for this board member, Uber, paying wherever they needed to go. She became disgruntled on one time and left, and the Uber people showed up. She wasn't there, but guess what? Hillsborough County still had to pay for that. The third infraction, we were scheduled to go out of town. This individual, hotel, registration, airline ticket, everything was done to help them go to the training. They didn't make it. That's another infraction. Those dollars could have been spent on a low-income family or person to help them. And for us to tolerate that name to come back on, I don't know what it's about, but I wasn't going to bring all this up in the general meeting because it was not, and I'm just bringing up executive committee meeting because we need to be aware. Why would we continue to put this person's name back on there for the parliamentarian when I'm looking and I'm called the parliamentarian is not, I don't think has the best interest of the board at hand. That's my feeling. Those are 3 infractions. I'm sure there are others. She missed 10 meetings. That's what I want to focus on. 10 meetings. And again, today she's not here. It's 11 meetings. That's where I put the focus on. I didn't bring all these other items up that I'm sharing with you guys now. But I just want us to give other board members opportunity. They have the best interest of the board at hand opportunity. But give us a slate, not a directive. Let us have choices. This is a democracy we live in. And I did not feel like the nominating chair, unfortunately, he's not here. I wish he was. So we could have the discussion, did that. We were not provided a democracy in that way. It was just, this is what you're getting, this is it. And I know I submitted other names. I know on my petition, but I never, and if other people did, the committee never had an opportunity to even put together a slate. Now, who put together that directive? And that's what I talked with Mr. Harness about. I just was uncomfortable because I felt really, I didn't want to bring all of that out at a general meeting, especially in front of new board members. I did not want to air out the laundry, but when I was asked, Noreen, what's the problem? I tried to stay to the missing 10 meetings. And if you look in your bylaws in section 7, in Article 7, Section 2, you'll see in about missing the 10 meetings from the executive committee meeting, Mr. Henderson, that you put in place when you revised the bylaws in 2019. So it was not a Noreen, whatever. I just want us, because I'm going to be coming off of the board. I'm glad to serve, but we put a lot of work in, and I don't want us to send out the wrong message or perpetuate behavior that is not favorable for this board. Thank you, Madam Chair.
And I take a little bit of responsibility because according to the bylaws, I did go back afterwards and read in a little bit deeper into it. And I apologize. I did have illness and deaths in the family last year. 2019 wasn't, and looks like 20 not a lot better. And it wasn't real kind to me health-wise. And so, and I apologize for any of missteps that I took. But had I been paying better attention after the third time she missed a meeting, she should have been removed then, or warning or whatever whatever the protocol is. I can't remember right off the top of my head, and should have been replaced before it ever came back to her, to the person being on the ballot again. And I myself nominated someone and was told because that person wasn't at the meeting that they couldn't be nominated, and I was assured that that person would take the job with no problem. And I knew they had parliamentary procedure experience because I looked to this person at our advisory council often for parliamentary procedure guidance. And that's Mr. William Thomas. He has to keep me straight sometimes when I get a little too silly at the advisory commission. Mr. Thomas keeps me straight. And so I thought that he was a good candidate. And then I just was like I didn't even say a word. And but for other candidates as well that were brought up, and they themselves declined themselves. And if someone had given me a minute to pick up the phone, I knew where Mr. Thomas was. He was doing community service. He was feeding the elderly in Plant City and got held up on a double route. And I could have picked up the phone and given 2 minutes and called and said, "Are you willing for this capacity?" And I'm sure he would have said yes.
All right.
He could tell me now that we're going to be together or a computer together that I'm crazy, but I don't think I would have been crazy. That he would have taken that job.
Oh, okay.
Madam Chair, this is Ms. Rosa Hill. Going forward, we can't change what happened going back. That's the first thing.
Right.
And I left the meeting feeling a certain kind of way. I feel like we want, if I can, as part of trainings going forward, that we as a board, new and old members, are trained on the proper process for electing officers in any capacity. I am a part of the nominating committee. I was asked to submit some names in writing in an email today, and I did submit those names, and they too did not show up on the ballot. Okay. So I believe what happened in the meeting last week was if we weren't as intelligent as we are amongst each other, we could all be at odds with each other. And that is not something that I personally want to be a part of. I would have to go back to the Housing Authority and extend my seat on the board if we become a board where we're all fighting against each other. Okay,
And
that's the first thing.
And that's not at all what I want. I want exactly the opposite, and that's why I fought for it to be a secret ballot. Because even though yes, the BOCC does their voting, publicly, they're not voting for people. And 22 personalities in a room, I didn't think it was a good idea that we did it publicly, because people are people, and that many personalities, I didn't think that was a good idea. And so that worked out well.
Well, Ms. Audrey corrected us on the meeting that because we're bound by the Sunshine Law, there's no such thing as a secret. So I want to make sure that we put that out there. Everything we do is public knowledge. And I do know we have submitted our paper, we've been able to write in or do whatever in the past. So going forward, if staff could include in our training, even if we had to bring in legal, the proper way to hold an election. And I think that goes from the nominating committee, which I'm a part of, so I'm responsible. That's the way I see it. All the way down to the newest member of the board, because the last thing I would want is for people on this board to be at odds with each other, or to have that reputation that this board had when I came on, that all those people do over there is fuss and fight and carry on. Why would you want to be a part of that?
And that's what I had heard about.
I have not experienced that since I've been here, but I heard that it was being had before I came. So I would hope that my 2 or 3 years that I put in and volunteered my time would not be in vain, that we will go forward and be better than we have been, even though we've been great. We would be better going forward. So it's all about training. Okay, so
that's why I almost said something the other night during the board meeting, that had I said it, it had turned it into exactly what you're talking about. And that's why I sat on my tongue, which is very hard for me to do. If you know me, you know that. But I sat on my tongue and I hushed, figuring that this was a better forum to discuss it in the room full of 20 plus personalities that would end up into a free-for-all. You know what I'm saying? And that is to how, that we do need to make it better, and we do need to provide some type of alternate way of doing things in the events of something like this comes up again, where we're looking at each other over the computer, and like you said, better training as to how it's done. I just know that some people are very shy, and they would, and I know there's no such thing as a secret ballot. I understand that very much so, but big difference between secret ballot and you writing down who you want and turn it into Derek, and the votes are counted. And if anybody really wants to see them, they can go look at them, and it's no big deal. But some people feel real funny about saying, well, I want John Smith for chair, and then feeling like, well, my friend or somebody they've gotten close to on the board, well, I like this person, but I don't think they make a good chair, and they're counting on me to vote for them because they're close to me. Well, I may think that you're better than pudding in a cup, but that doesn't mean that you're suited for a particular job. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, that's why I thought that, you know, doing it where people had an opportunity to do it in their own privacy, but yet be public, you know, the votes be where they can be seen by anybody that wants to see them, it can be public knowledge, was just, I don't know, it made people feel more comfortable with the vote. That's all I was trying to do that night, was just make some people feel a little more comfortable.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Joey Henderson. And I can respect your desire to want to help people feel comfortable, and there's nothing wrong with that at all in terms of having a voting done by ballot submissions, which is quasi confidential, but then again, it is it is made public. The thing that concerns me, and I do agree with several points that Ms. Miller has made with regards to the process, but the thing that concerns me is that this is my first time hearing of these issues, and you know, that's something that we probably need to address today, because I do have another meeting I have to go to. But the one thing with Greater Tampa Realtors, we're just going through this now and preparing our members for nominations for the officers. And one of the first things that we did, and that should be done, is that here's what makes a person eligible to be an officer. That should be reviewed, that should be shared with the board, and people will discount themselves. I would hope they would discount themselves if they see that they are meeting the expectations. I also do agree with having that training as a part of our standard training with regards to elections and nominations and what have you. It's it can't be underestimated in that regard. But again, moving forward, you know, I think it's important to make sure that people understand what the qualifications and eligibility requirements are in order to be an officer, and then move on from there. But from this point on, I think we have what we have, as Ms. Hill says, and I think we just need to move forward.
Well, I just suggest to, if I don't remember off the top of my head now, was there more than one person on the slate for parliamentary?
No, ma'am, there was not.
Okay, I didn't think so. I apologize for, I don't have that right in front of me. I'm not in my office. I'm at home again. For
Madam
2 weeks.
Chair,
But,
Madam Chair.
yes,
This is Maria.
have
If I could add some light to the executive team. 2 meetings ago, we were discussing how to move forward with the vote, and it was staff's recommendation to get nominations from all board members on their ability or their desire to be voted as or put on the ballot. During that meeting, staff was directed to reach out to the nominating committee to come up with a slate of officers, and the committee would need to provide names to staff, and staff would then forward those names to the committee chair. So what staff did, Derek, he sent out a message to all of the committee members. All of the committee members sent in names. All of those names were forwarded to the board, the committee chair, and the committee chair then provided the slate, which was provided at the last meeting. That was the sequence of events that happened. So I wanted to make sure that all the board members knew what staff did and how staff was directed, and how all of that came about.
then
Just
then
for
answer
clarity.
me this- then for my clarification, if, let's say I was on that committee and I gave names for different, you know, chair, vice chair, you know, the different positions, and then names that I know I gave weren't on that. Shouldn't names I gave be on that slate?
Madam Chair, we forwarded all of the entries that we received from the committee members to the board, the committee chair, and the committee chair provided staff with the slate.
Madam
Madam Chair, if I may.
Hold on 1 second. I hear you guys, but let me finish, please. Then how come at the meeting last Wednesday, or Wednesday 2 weeks ago, did I hear, I believe, 2 different people state that they submitted names that were not on that slate?
Madam Chair, it was, all of the names were provided to the committee chair, and the committee chair provided the name of slate that were on the slate to staff, and then staff provided that to the board.
That still doesn't answer my question.
In other words, staff provided everything to the
What we got
committee
going
chair.
on here?
That's what I understand.
Now, I understand.
That is correct.
So why
Okay.
it didn't appear on the ballot is you have to go back to the chair.
Right.
Correct.
Am I,
Oh,
is
there we go.
that what you're,
And then if you look in your bylaws, Madam Chair, if I may,
Yes, Ms. Miller.
okay, if you look in the bylaws and you look in section 9, election of officers, you will see a nominating committee will be appointed by the board chair, preferably during the month of May. And the committee will be responsible for submitting a slate of candidates for office. The committee will be responsible for submitting a slate of candidates for office. That was my concern. It was not the committee, it was the chair. And it is not a one-man show. That's why it's called committee. And that was my only concern. But at this point, I want to resolve this issue so we can move forward. I only have one, and I'm going to stick with that. I have to. My concern is that one individual that I've been very clear about is executive committee officers. I don't know if you all, how you want to handle it, but that is not someone that I want to perpetuate another 2 years on representing, not being there for the board. That's just my thing. And if I want us to, I was hoping Dr. Wright would be here so we could come up with a resolution so that when we go back to the general meeting, we present a united front so that we can move forward in a positive way. But again, so I just wanted that the committee didn't submit it. The one, it was submitted by the chair, which should have not happened, but it did. So now as a resolution, how can we move forward? And as a certified mediator, I want it to be a win-win situation. Hopefully this board that we can come up with, I told you my concerns. I submitted a person named, the board chair submitted a person named, which I thought that if nothing else, we should have gone with her recommendation as out of respect as board chair, because that was one of the names I know on my petition that didn't happen, although they were in there. But we got to be flexible. We got to be able to make a decision so that we can permit this slate to move forward. And by no means, we are all professionals. There's no personal anything. But out of, that's just my thing, so we can come up with a resolution. So board members, I don't know how you all feel about that. I only have that issue with that one individual, and I, if they were here, I would say that, but I would never put all of that out before a general meeting because the new board members probably were already feeling uncomfortable with the tones, I'm sure. But I was trying to keep it strictly by the book, and I wanted to encourage people to read the bylaws. That is real, and also read our resolution. And I know during meetings, we always put emphasis on eligibility. Like Mr. Henderson said, one of the first things we talk about, if you're going to be an officer, you got to be able to serve. You got to come when you don't want to come. I've talked about the importance of being on the executive committee. Ms. Anderson, Jennifer, you put emphasis on it all year long about attending the executive committee meetings and other meetings if you are an officer. We've always put that on there so that people know what the requirements are up front. It's almost like a daily conversation. Now, is it taken serious? Apparently not, but maybe need to put a stronger emphasis on it in training. And so,
I feel like I dropped the ball. So I guess we move on from here. and whoever the new chair is, it's one of the two people, one of two people sitting in this room, obviously. I would advise, I dropped the ball last year, my fault. I own my junk, everybody knows I do. I should have kept a better eye on it. And if that's gonna, everything's gonna stay like it is, and I just ask that whoever comes in after me, please keep a cautious eye on that. And then if you see a pattern developing again, then that person definitely needs to be replaced. And so,
Chair,
Yes.
let me just say this. I don't think it's going to be an issue with the chair or vice chair. My concern is the parliamentarian. And if we can make a decision as executive committee to make some changes there, we can move on with this, with the nomination on my behalf, because we have professionals on the line, both the leaders and leadership roles. I don't think it'll be an issue there. My issue is with the parliamentarian. And I would like for the name that were put on the floor to be put on that slate or put in that position. And Madam Chair, you made that recommendation. And I think being the chair, the least we can do is allow you to appoint that parliamentarian to that chair. That's where I support that. And I made that in the meeting, but it was not, I was not allowed for a discussion. But at the executive committee meeting, I think we need to resolve this today, and I believe it can be.
Madam Chair.
yes.
To that point, well, first of all, let me just say, and you don't have to reiterate, we understand that you take responsibility and we respect you for that, and not a lot of folks would do that. But also, I want to encourage the staff, if you see that we're going down a path that isn't correct, if there are names that have been submitted and you can, we need you all to vet that information as well, just as well as for those students who apply for scholarships. You all have our records in terms of our attendance and what have you. And it would have been easy had you informed not only the chairman of that committee, but also the chair of the CAB, Madam Chairman, that these names were submitted, but these individuals are not eligible simply because of what's stated in the bylaws. Now, the bylaws doesn't speak so much to eligibility. There are removal procedures, but again, we didn't have the opportunity to enact any of these type of procedures because it wasn't brought to the table beforehand. So we're stuck with what we have. I don't think that we can't arbitrarily decide as an executive committee to not entertain having Ms. Hargret as parliamentarian or having her name on the ballot. I don't know how the election went, but I think she was the only candidate for that position, I believe. And so we're kind of stuck with what we have, and we just need to move on at this point. And as you said, Ms. Miller, we need to, or Madam Chair, one of you said that we just need to pay closer attention to this going forward, but we definitely need the help of staff to be able to say, and don't feel that you're interfering or disrespecting us in any way. I expect you to make sure that we are on task with what we need to be doing as CAB members, and you usually do. I give that credit, a lot of credit to staff, and this one I think was missed, and just by Ms. Gillis's account of what has happened, we weren't, the leadership wasn't informed of the fact that there are individuals who are being nominated and they are not eligible.
Now let me ask you.
Madam Chair, if I may, this
Let me
is
ask
Maria.
staff this.
One point of clarity. Once we received the slate from the committee chair, that slate went out to all the committee members on June 4th, and we did not receive any feedback. That is why we've continued. We can only go by what the board directs us to do, based on the information that we're given. Just like when we were told to reach out to the committee chair for his leadership with this nomination. That's what staff did. We were hoping that after the June 4th of providing the slate to all the committee members, we would have gotten some feedback, and at that point, maybe we could have done something, but we really can't direct the board. The staff is only here to work for the board members at this time. I do want to, before we get further into this, I do want to have Ms. Gordon have an opportunity to speak. She did reach out to the county attorney's office and got some guidance on how to move forward with the election. We did, staff did receive all the nominations that all the board members provided, but right now those are going to be null and void. And I'm going to have Ms. Gordon explain what she got from the county attorney and how we will move forward with the next meeting.
Yes.
Ms. Gordon, before you go into your explanation, if I may, Madam Chair. Let me just say that, Ms. Gillis, I'm not saying that you all need to tell the board what to do. You're our advisors as well as we are to you all. And it could be advised to us that these are the people who are technically eligible to run for office. This person's name was submitted and they're not eligible. That's all you need to let us know. And so in that regard, I think, I'm just encouraging you all to take that approach. And while we might be able to give you a directive on what to do, you can still come back to us to advise us, here's something you want to consider. And this is definitely one of those things that we definitely want to consider going forward.
Just to go to that, she is eligible based on your bylaws and the requirements. There's no criteria that would exclude her at this time. So staff would not have provided any information on that.
Okay, thank you.
Just to that point, Ms. Gillis, and because again, we let the ball drop. And if you look in the section 7, item, you will see if an executive committee member missed 10 meetings or more. She should have gotten a letter. And I know that staff been busy and that did not happen. In the past, you all have always sent out an alert when someone has been not meeting their obligations. And she has missed, today is 11 meetings. The 11th executive committee meeting, there's a article in the bylaws about that. Mr. Henderson, you put that in there. Matter of fact, you were the bylaw chair at that time. But again, I don't want to belabor this. I had to think about it because I really came home and I was ready to submit my letter of resignation because I'm not here to be the villain. I'm not here to perpetuate behavior that's inappropriate or we are supposed to be empowering low-income people and doing good things. But this is the individual who showed us not once, not twice, not 3 times, several times. They have no intention of serving on the board, or maybe they want to and don't have the ability to. Let me say it that way. Maybe their job prohibits, but be big enough to say, okay, I can't do it because of my job. That's okay. I've had, instances where I couldn't serve because of other variables. But we let the ball drop, or the chair is saying she did, but usually staff alert you on certain things. And I know you guys have had a lot of things that were not the norm that is happening. I just want to move on forward.
Madam Vice Chair, thank you for providing us that information. I'll go back, but when I looked at the bylaws, it basically states the CAB meetings. I did not see anything that said committee meetings. But I will go back as staff and review and ensure that that's in there.
But let me ask you this, Maria. Wasn't this was it in 2019? I believe it was that a few people got letters because they actually missed meetings, too many meetings, and they got letters and they got all upset. Am I wrong in stating that this person was also one of the ones that got that letter as well?
Yes, Madam Chair, but it was for not attendance of CAB meetings. The committee meetings were not
Right, I know. I'm just clarifying something for myself is all. I'm just clarifying. But that again shows you're not coming to the CAB board meetings. You're not coming to the executive board meetings. And that's not leadership. That's not leadership quality. I'm sorry. You know, I mean, you know, we have people that have been out sick. Take Ms. Hill, for instance. Ms. Hill was out sick. She communicated with us. She let us know that she was incapacitated and unable to come. But as soon as she could return, she returned and came back full force and ready to rock and roll. There was a couple meetings I had to miss because of health reasons, same thing. You know what I'm saying? But you have to stay in communication, not just keep missing. I'm sorry, it's just not good leadership quality. And like I said, I always, Joey, I appreciate what you said, but I've always been the person that owns my junk. I make a mistake, and that right there should have been a flag to me to look a little deeper into stuff, and I dropped the ball. And so did the nominating committee chair, as far as I'm concerned. He should have looked a little deeper into, was this person qualified? And I'm again asking, where are the other names that were supposed to be on that slate that were submitted?
And Madam
Because-
Chair, just as point of clarity, staff also, unfortunately, due to many things that are going on in this world, if staff drop the ball in any area, we will ensure that doesn't happen ever again.
And I take, you know, there's a point in time where I have to take responsibility, you know, and I have to, you know, and because it's my job, and just as it was the nominating committee's job as well. So, anyways, so where do we go? Tell us where we go from here. What did the communications department say, or whoever it is that's over this, say we needed to do? Let's go from there.
Yes, hi, Ms. Anderson. So after the CAB meeting, I reached out to Ms. Diggs, our attorney for the department, and just asked for her guidance on how we would resume, how would we conduct election through a virtual platform, because this is something that we've never done before. And she stated that in order to comply with the Sunshine Law, we must do a roll call vote. And to maintain that moving forward, whether we're meeting in person or whether we're meeting virtually, that is true to the Sunshine Law. So any type of written voting, anything like that actually does not fully comply. So roll call vote would be the proper procedure moving forward, and as part of the process for voting, period. And I know Ms. Anderson mentioned that you're uncomfortable. Well, not that you're uncomfortable, but some board members could be uncomfortable with voting for one board member over another. But due to the law, we would just have to manage that discomfort, and there's nothing that we can do to.
Well, the law's the law. I'm not uncomfortable. I mean, I'll vote for somebody else and hug your neck, tell you I love you, and this is why I couldn't vote for you. A lot of people feel uncomfortable being, just
And so to
different personalities, and I can understand that. But I guess it's time for everybody to put on their big boy panties and go forward. And if it needs to be roll call now. So what you're telling me is we have to hold the election again.
Right, to hold an election, and she actually recommended a special call meeting for that because the officer position starts July 1st. And also she offered, which I didn't have the opportunity to discuss with Maria and Audrey first, but in the meeting, since you brought it up, I think Mr. Henderson brought it up or Ms. Hill brought it up regarding training. She actually did offer to provide a refresher training on the Sunshine Law and ethics for this board.
So let me ask you this. So let me ask you this question. Since we're having to have a whole new election anyways, then why can't we contact our esteemed Dr. Wright and ask him about those other names that were supposed to be on that slate.
I don't know, Ms. Gillis, do you recommend that the nominating committee meet again, or?
I did speak to Madam Vice Chair, and my suggestion was that the nominating committee meet again, get on the same page prior to our next CAB meeting, and present a united front with a slate. And then also, if this is just a recommendation, not that the board would need to move forward on this, but I would also open it up to the day of the CAB meeting, if there's anyone that feels that they would like to also be, put on the slate or considered. I think that it's appropriate to open it up because maybe someone would be willing and able to also put their name on the ballot. But again, that's just staff's recommendation. The board could do any direction that they would like to.
Then I would like for Dr. Wright and his committee to convene again, and the ones that were recommended from the floor last time, I assume would need to stay where they're at. And and have them meet again and come up with a slate in it, and then we'll go from there. And then we're not going to have this mess again. We're not going to have
Madam Chair?
all the cross-talking, walking, all that mess. Yes, sir, Mr. Henderson.
Yes, ma'am. My recommendation is that, we allow the committee to do what they need to do
Video's acting funny.
without any,
My
predetermined.
video's acting funny, if y'all can hear me. I'm still here.
Okay, we hear you.
Sorry.
My video's acting funny, if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you, Mr. Thomas. We can hear you.
Okay. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
I can't hear anybody. If y'all put my name out there, I can't hear you. My computer's acting up. But I guess I'm falling on it.
Is that that in collaboration with the staff to verify eligibility, that the committee goes back and look at the entire roster and make sure everybody is eligible to fill to serve as an officer.
So this is Ms. Hill. I agree. But Madam Chair, I think what you just said is correct and it's good. And I have to be honest with you, it's the process that was submitted the first time. We all submitted names of who we thought should be on the ballot or on the slate. It's just when they got to the chair, the slate got narrowed down and did not include what everybody submitted. So if we're going to do this over, we need to make it very, very clear to the chair that everybody's name that is needs to show up on the slate, not just the ones that 2 or 3 or one person feel like should be on the slate by themselves. Because
Ms. Hill, everybody
follow the process.
Everybody
eligible.
Because it's the nominating committee being more than one person that makes a decision of whose names go on that slate. It's not one person. I'm not going to give you my I and team analogy, but it's not appropriate here. But we all work together cohesively, and that's the way it needs to be. And you're right, Ms. Hill. We need to go back to the drawing board, have it ready by the next meeting, and Ms. Gillis, Ms. Ziegler, whoever it is that can vet these people, or we can assign somebody to vet them, through the bylaws to make sure that they should they go through the bylaws committee to see if those people qualify under the bylaws to serve in that capacity.
Absolutely.
Or should it just be left up to the nominating committee and staff? But I feel, I feel like,
Madam Chair, this is Maria.
yes.
I would encourage the bylaws committee to also participate because they could have that view of what the requirements are and what guidance they could provide. I think that if it's a good group, they could provide more of a slate or some guidance that everybody would be comfortable with.
Okay. And would it seeing as how I am privy to every other committee meeting, I'm assuming I'm privy to that one as well.
That is correct, Madam Chair.
Okay, because I would like to be privy to that meeting as well. Because when we go back to the board, for the next meeting to hold this vote, because what we're going to need to do for the sake of time, because we're going to do everything in one meeting, for the sake of time, we need to do the election at the beginning of the agenda. If we're going to do it oral, and we're going to do it, verbally, we're going to know who the new chair is, who everybody is that day, right then and there. And for the interest of time, we passed the gavel in July. I can still pass that gavel in July, well, virtually, unless they want to come to my house, unless I'm been unlocked again. But I don't see any reason why we can't do the election, the voting, and passing the gavel all in one meeting. I don't see why we can't do it that way. I'm a one and done girl. Let's get it going.
Madam Chair, if I may, this is Maria. I think that's a great idea, and I really appreciate that Sharon reached out to our legal in order to get some clarity, because I think it's very important that we start out explaining at the next meeting what transpired as far as why the vote has to be redone and why it has to be done this way. So I want to thank Sharon for going out and getting that information, because I think it's important for the board, not just this committee, but the entire board to know that, we're just following the law.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sharon, very much.
And just, can I add, and maybe I'll get more guidance from Ms. Gillis on this. Ms. Diggs stated that she would be willing to provide a training. So would this be, do we want to include this in a board or a standalone training outside of the board meeting?
Thinking, Sharon, I think maybe we could ask Ms. Diggs to provide, how she would like to handle it. But I think it's important. I think it's a great idea for her to give this board some training or some guidance on how elections are to be done, not just virtually, how they're supposed to be done in the sunshine.
Okay.
We definitely want to follow the rules, and before I don't think we knew we were breaking them. So it's kind of one of those ask forgiveness instead of permission things. It wasn't on purpose, and we'll just go forward from now and do it correctly. But if I don't know who wants to be the one to contact Dr. Wright and tell him that we got to do it all over again.
Madam Chair, this is Maria. I'm going to have Sharon and Derek work together on getting the information out to Dr. Wright and set up a virtual call so that the committees, the bylaws committee and the nominating committee can get together and get everything tightened up before the next meeting.
And I would like to be on that call, please.
Okay. Let me just say, Madam Chair, and so and what I'm hearing is we're going to have a call meeting, a special call meeting. Is that correct?
That's recommendation.
Yes.
Okay, with the nominating committee.
Yes.
Okay, in the bylaws committee, I think some of the people say serving the same. I just want to know the call meeting, then we can resolve it, move on. That works for me. That works for me.
We're gonna redo the slate, and then on the next cab board, we're gonna do the ballot and everything we did last time. We're gonna do the election, and whoever the chairman is, we're going to do a virtual passing of the gavel, and I'll mail it to you. So if that is, I think we have a quorum here, so I guess that's a motion on the floor. Or that's something we need to vote on, guys.
We need a motion that we have a call meeting to resolve the issue for the election process to generate a slate that everybody can vote on at the general meeting.
I second, Madam Chair, with a discussion that we have the nominating committee reevaluate the ballots to submit them to the executive board for a immediate vote and resolution.
Yes, with all people that are, one added footnote, all people that are on the slate are vetted more carefully. And so I have and so I still have a first from Miss Lori Miller and second from Mr. William Thomas. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
All those opposed? That motion's passed. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's set up a virtual meeting for the nominating committee and the bylaws committee and myself, please.
Chair, this is Maria, not to interrupt, but I have been advised that we are over our time and we're moving into another meeting. So I just wanted to give you that update so you can move along as quickly as possible.
Yes, ma'am, I'm on it. For that, I think the only thing I have left is you and this agenda kind of came out weird. On my copy anyway. Department of Social Services, do you have anything for us, Audrey?
Audrey actually had to jump on the other meeting that's happening right after this one.
Okay.
So she did not have anything to add, and I will just add that I did receive information from Computer Mentors, Mr. Smith, yesterday, and I will be forwarding that information to Rosa Hill for her committee to vet.
Okay, and Ms. Gordon, do you have anything else? Was that all, Ms. Gillis?
Thank you.
Okay, and Ms. Gordon, do you have anything else for us?
No, I don't. Thank you very much.
We gave you enough to do?
No, we're good. Thank you.
All righty. So, for the good of the order, it sounds like they want us off the phone. Is there anything anybody else has?
Madam Chair, William Thomas, if I may quickly.
Yes.
I have to say I do apologize for not being at the meeting last week. However, it appears as though the fight I had with the Chihuahua delivering meals was lighter than what was going on at the meeting, a little less exciting. So I do apologize for not being there. Good of the order, obviously the movement regarding George Floyd is definitely impacting Plant City as well as a number of others. And there are a lot of significant things that occurred in Plant City in the past week. So we're just happy to see that people are getting on the same page. And that's all I have. And commend the entire board for handling this resolution. I was in the back of the room when my mom was chair a number of years ago. And as Ms. Rosa Hill noted, I did see and witness for myself unfortunately some of the discord that went on, and I'm just happy to see even now the way we're handling things or resolving issues. So I commend everyone.
You're here.
Is there anyone else? All righty. Well, I will see some of y'all at that meeting. Time is 1:55 and we are adjourned.
Thank you. Guys,
Bye.
Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe out here.
Good to see you, Heidi.
Aye.
All right. Y'all be safe.
All right.